Alright, here we go. This is day 2 of the CDT ride, or day 10 or 11 or whatever it is in total. Here in Aspen Glade Campground, just outside of Antonito, Colorado. Getting everything ready. Good night's sleep, honestly. Started using a camping cot and that worked out pretty well. Got a little chilly, but nothing major. Took me a lot of time to get ready. First time camping of the year, so till all of the the muscle memory is back. It's just after 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're gonna make our way to New Mexico. So I know no big goal setting, that's what I said, but so approximate what I'm thinking today is we're gonna make our way to the halfway mark in Abiquiu, or however you say that name, and then way down towards Cuba, New Mexico. But let's see how far we'll get. Already on dirt. It's a good start to the day already. These roads definitely look like the type that you don't want to ride when it's wet. Look at these freaking ruts. I can see it up there, it's the border. New Mexico, there we go. Nice. Out of Colorado, finally. And going on a small trail. I must have mounted the rear duffel a little too far back again. I mean, it's not as bad as it was yesterday, but then it wasn't as great as when we fixed it. So, something to do later. To next stop. Scenic Railroad. No train? Oh, we're going left? No. Map says left, but it must be the road right beneath it. It's a good place here to wait with your posse on the horses to route the train. Pretty steep. You really just can't take these roads when it's wet. I've learned my lesson a couple of times, I guess. Wyoming BDR, probably the worst of it, and then last year CDT sections through Montana. The Montana one wasn't as bad as the Wyoming one, but it was just 80 miles at a time, which that really sucked. The Montana one was more mud. Wyoming is more clay. This looks like clay too. More steepness. So one thing with all the GoPros and all the cameras and out there, there's just no way you can show something is steep or not. Even the steepest thing in the world, which I mean this one obviously wasn't, but doesn't look that steep. It's all about perspective. You need kind of like a sideways view that's horizon level, but I'm not gonna stop and set up a shot and do all that stuff. I'm here to ride and film what I ride, not for the sake of only filming. Oh, this is some really fun riding. Steep. Ugh. Very nice. Ugh. It's definitely rougher than anything you had yesterday. Where do we go? Looks like we're gonna take a left. Man, it's pretty here. What a cool little trail. I would love that campsite right next to the river. That'd be cool. Beautiful roads here through all of these aspens and great views down the canyons. Oh, this is good adventure riding. Oh, we got mud. It's definitely one of those roads too that when it gets wet, it's a handful. Really makes me miss my little bulldogs. Resemblance is uncanny. Bigger road turned off to a smaller road, so now we're in Tour Trek Prairie Land, somewhere, nowhere, New Mexico. Amazing. In a good way, not sarcastic, but it was actually really cool. Very green lake, lots of duckweed or algae or something toxic, who knows. Looks very out of place. Probably just duckweed. Strange. Not a place to get your water necessarily. And I think this is the right way. Looks like it on the map, yeah. A lot of water. And more. I don't think this area is going to be good for ripping it. Well, not if you don't want to spend like forever cleaning your bike. Must have really rained here yesterday or so. Alright, so both of my GoPros weren't charging properly, so I missed filming some of the gnarly stuff through the woods, but some of the trails on the track didn't exist, so I had to take some alternate ones around it. And I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but they're very sporty little two tracks, and they still are. Does not look like a very well traveled area. Lots of things overgrown, a lot of branches down. I love these kind of trails in Colorado too when I go exploring, so I don't mind at all. Just hope it doesn't turn into something where I have to turn around. This camera charging issue is getting really annoying. Looks like it ends in a lake down there. Oh, okay. There's a trail that kind of goes down there, but there's one that goes by. Nice. It does not look like the freshest water either. So trails keep going like that, I might not even make it to Abiquiu. Well, found my first log gate here. So turning around was a bit pain. I'll have to see if I can divert around it. Well, looks good so far. Should be a trail that comes out from the right here somewhere. That would have been our original route. And we're going to go straight. Straight, yes. Yeah, this little road. Okay, cool. So we're back on the trail for now. Gaining some altitudes and some incredible views. 1 minute we're riding through like the forest, and the next we're up here looking down. You know, a lot of the Continental Divide ride from the whole thing from Canada down to the Mexican border, I mean, there's a lot of similarities from state to state just because you are in the Rocky Mountains most of the time, but each state still has its own flavor to it. In Montana, there's a lot of lakes and not really high altitude, like just woods. Wyoming, you had the open plains. Colorado, the really high peaks, the really difficult passes. And then New Mexico, I'm not sure yet. We'll see, but right now it's almost like a mix between Colorado and then Utah or something like that. So, and we're not taking the normal road, or are we? No, we're going right. Okay, this is another dirt road. But hey, at least it's a nice dirt road. Alright, we turned back onto some smaller two-track style roads. Yeah, pretty nice up here. Shoot! Oh, very loose soil. Oh, high gate. Let's see what we got. God damn it, another lock. Alright. Let's see here. Oh lovely, there's like no way to get on here now. Let's take a quick look just to make sure it's actually locked. Sure is. Son of a bitch. That's 247. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to just bypass the whole shebang. There's nowhere I can really cut through reliably. Alright, I mean, it is what it is. I'll drop another pin that this is blocked. Alright, I'm gonna keep hitting lock gates. It might be worth looking at alternate routes. Let's see what the GPS Kevin wants to do. Alright, time to turn around. Alright, we made it back a few miles. I think where that road was. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go down this road a little ways, and then cut over to GPS Kevin or Canon Shots track, and then cut back on the main route, go to Abiquiu. Alright, we're coming up on the turn. Follows the other alternative route. Always a good idea if you're doing this trip to download like a bunch of different routes from a bunch of different people. It helps you navigate around closed gates. Very good, puppies, not chasing the bike. Asshole's garage. Nice. It's an interesting little place here. straight, I believe. Yeah. I don't have this route loaded in my Garmin, so I'm just gonna have to follow the GPS tracks. It's a nice road. A little loose gravel, but smooth. Interesting little area here. The creek to the right is bone dry, but the ground is pretty wet. It's been a little muddy on and off for a few miles now. Not bad, but just, yeah, you can see the road here. It's just a little moist still, so probably from yesterday rain or this morning, night, something like that. It's the smallest logging operation I've seen. It's pretty cool. So the landscape changed a bit. It might not be all that different, but I can tell I'm not in Colorado anymore by the smell. There's some stuff blooming here that's a very strong scent that we don't have in Colorado. It's more something in Utah and the Southwest. I can't put my finger on it what it is, but yeah, it's starting to feel like New Mexico. And it's getting warm. Going from the low 60s all day now to the high 70s, low 80s. We're still at 7,000 feet. But in front of us, the plains are opening up. A lot more shrub than trees. The cool little communities is those adobe walls. It's definitely pretty rural here. So it's here from the right that the other route, Brady's route, would have come out. So this is El Rito. And I just set it in the widest way possible. Oh, there's a dead skunk. It must have just rained here recently. Feels very humid. Definitely not in Colorado anymore. I got some cacti. I think there's a cholla, but I don't know. Not a botanist. I have to ask my wife. She loves cacti. Right from the desert. That's so cool. Just get spit out through this environment. Into Abiquiu, Georgia O'Keeffe Welcome Center. And a gas station. Hallelujah. Stopped to get some gas and some drinks. And maybe even some food. How's it going?
701?
Yes, it is.
Very nice. What year?
So, it's a 21. Surprised you recognized. Most people have no idea what they're looking at.
Looks like you have it settled perfect.
Alright, gassed up, watered up, took a short break, and melting, absolutely melting. So freaking hot. My thermometer shows 95. Really interesting area out here. Everything just immediately changed as soon as we got dropped out of the mountains. Nice change of scenery for sure though. It's been a while since I've been out in the southwest. Haven't gotten to do too much riding this year. Did 2 Utah trips and then a little bit around Colorado, but compared to other years, very little. We did a multi-day Moab trip where we rode around mainly towards the Capitol Reef area into like Goblin, like that backwoods there, and then the far side Canyonlands, and then did a single track day out in Rabbit Valley by Grand Junction into Utah. That was fun on this bike. Some trails this bike probably wasn't meant to be on, but did fine. Getting a little bit of altitude is a good thing. Getting away from all that heat. It's kind of looking forward to some desert riding, but I wish I could do it without all the armor on. I can breathe a little bit. All my years of riding, I've never actually had to really rely on my armor. But the one day I won't wear it is when I'll wipe out. I needed it, so it stays on. Alright, we're around 8,000 feet climbing, heading into the forest, into the mountains again. The roads have gotten a little worse, so can't make as good a time as we did before. There's a nice little steep ascent. This is like Utah riding. Once in those ruts, it's really hard to get back out. Deep sand. If I knew it was going to be that sandy, I would have just stayed in Abiquiu for the night. But, oh well, let's make the best of it. I don't find it particularly difficult, just a little repetitive, and it beats up your wrists. Alright, just got here to this really steep downhill section. It was a couple of miles of that awful big rocks getting over, but I mean, made it through. It just wasn't very fun. And this is the hardest part over the past few days for sure. It's not technical like difficulty or anything, it's just a lot of maneuvering and picking lines and stuff like that. So having that at the beginning of the day is definitely more pleasant than at the end. It's 3:30 now, 50 miles to 53 miles to Cuba. That could, I don't know, we'll see. I know, time pressure. Here we go again, right? But if I don't feel like it, I can always stop and grab a dispersed campsite. I was thinking if I get to Cuba, maybe try to get a hotel room so I can fix all that luggage stuff, tear everything apart much easier, since I don't have to waste the time setting up tents and getting situated. But I don't even know if they would have anything available Labor Day weekend. Suddenly started getting cooler and darker. Weather starting to close in a little bit. Oh, these roads are annoying. It's just super rocky and just jerking you all over the place. Doesn't appear to be a very well traveled trail. Ooh. Ooh. It's extremely rocky and rutted. It was like proper Jeep trail. It is pretty up here though, and I'm glad it's temperatures in the 60s. I'd be sweating to death. I have not seen a single soul up here anywhere, so this area is pretty damn remote. Everything else was packed full of hunters and campers and off-roaders and all kinds of stuff. But as soon as I left Abiquiu to come up here, I haven't seen anybody or any traces of somebody's been here very recently. Finally made it on a decent road, and just in time. It's drizzling, about 58 degrees or so. We're at 10,000 feet still, 44 miles to Cuba. But you know, these are the kind of situations, I mean, this is not bad, but it's easy to have it like creep in your head to be like annoyed by the situation or unhappy or stressed out. And no, I have to force myself to actively push it out. I'm not a naturally happy person, so I am trying to force myself to always kind of see the bright, well, not always, but I'm trying to. But still a cool adventure that I'm on. See how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't start raining too hard, but if it does, I got rain gear, which I hate, but it does fit better since I lost some weight. Yeah, let's just go with the flow on the road and see what comes our way. This kind of reminds me of the mountains out in Idaho. I was riding a CDT there. Right now the trail is better, but kind of a similar thing, like the Lewis and Clark wilderness area. It's amazing how much it cooled down compared to what it was down in Abiquiu. I know I call that city a different name every time I say it, but figure one of them might be right. But where we had 39 miles to Cuba, if the road stays like that, it's not a big deal. It is just after 4 o'clock, so it's getting a little darker, cooler, weather's closing in a little. The idea of a hotel sounds pretty appealing, to get the bike and the luggage and all that stuff repacked and reorganized, so it's just easier, more comfortable riding, especially in sand. You barely notice the difference out like on these types of roads, but the loose soil, yeah, it makes a big difference. I'll get it figured out. It's a process. But for now, enjoying the fresh pine smells, the cool breeze on my face, some good music, and just let everything come at me. I can see a cow ambush up ahead. Not sure what they're planning, but trying to get a toll. Alright, little guys. How you doing? You're still young cows, huh? I miss my little Myrtle. Oh, finally under 9,000 feet for the first time in a while. It's a nice 68 degrees. Feels a lot nicer than like 55. Some of the sun peeking through. There's no drizzles. There's definitely was some rain through here pretty recently. Lots of little hidden puddles, yeah, like this one. And you can tell what kind of mess that would be to go through. Some serious potholes. They'll swallow you half your tire. Some nice camping sites here too. Alright, I'm back on the road again. So we only have a few more miles to Cuba. I'm not sure if the camera picks it up, but there's some massive clouds and weather moving in. So hopefully I can find a hotel somewhere. I'm not quite sure what the destination is for tomorrow yet. I'll have to look at my map, but we'll go over the routes and all the details. But for now, hopefully find a hotel, take a shower, start working on the bike, and move the luggage. And I hope to God they have some beer and steak. Alright, we made it to Cuba. Looks like 6,900 feet elevation, and there's rain all over the place. I know I'm riding in sun right now, but if you look at the outskirts on the radar, ugh. Guess we got really lucky today with the rain.